What's going on, people? My name is Javi. If you're new to the channel, welcome. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 2 reasons why people don't start on their goals and my top 2 strategies on how to get rid of that. So, first things first, the number one reason why people don't start on their goals is fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. Not knowing what's going to happen. All right? Not knowing what's going to happen is a feeling that people are not particularly fond of, right? It's just human nature to worry when you don't know what's going to happen. So for example, if you think of insurance companies, for example, right? If you have We have all kinds of insurances. We have car insurance, home insurance, life insurance, just about every insurance that you can think of, right? Why do we have insurance policies? Why do we have that? You want to be prepared. It's that simple. You want to be prepared. You want to have that peace of mind, right? That's what people gravitate towards. So it's a safety net. It's a safety net. You want to know that if something happens, that you're prepared, that it's not going to catch you off guard, that you're going to be ready, right? If something happens that you didn't want to happen, you're ready, right? It's a safety net. That's why we have insurances, right? With goals, chances are there's no insurance. There's no policy you can go out and buy that says, hey, if you go out and decide to be a lawyer, a teacher, a firefighter, an NBA player, football player, whatever, there's no insurance policy, at least not yet, right? That says, hey, there's a safety net. There's a safety net you can fall back on. So, not knowing whether you can achieve your goals is a terrifying feeling for most people. Even if it doesn't completely overwhelm you, there's a little bit of hesitation and anxiety of just like, what do I do? What do I do if it doesn't work out? Right? It's the unknown. So here's what I recommend. Here's what's worked for me. If you have a goal, whatever that goal is, right? And it's unknown, you don't know what's going to happen. What you need to do is make the unknown known. Let me say that again. Make the unknown known. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, if you have a goal, there's going to be blind spots that you're not aware of. That's what gets you to, pull back. But you need to make these blind spots come into fruition by putting light on them. You need to learn about your goal. So let's say you want to start your own business, for example, right? If you wake up in the morning, how do you start a business? Right? If my goal was to start a business, I woke up this morning, right? How do I do that? How do I start a business, right? For most people, it's going to say, I have no idea. That is a thought that's overwhelming. But if you learn about how to start a business, instead of just starting a business, it's going to alleviate some of that discomfort. So what you want to do is you want to put a pebble every day into learning about your goal. So you wake up, you read an article online, you read a book or an audiobook, however you digest information. You educate yourself about the goal. Watch a documentary about starting a business. Go talk to a friend who maybe already has a business of their own, right? Most people cannot just take that jump. You don't just take that leap of faith. You have to do your homework. You have to do your homework. You have to do some research. So a lot of the unknowns that you have in your mind are wiped out when you know about it, when you learn the information, right? So let's say you want to start a gym, for example, right? Learn about gyms. How many gyms are there in America or Canada, Mexico, wherever you're at, right? How many gyms? How many gym memberships? And how much does each membership cost? How many trainers are in each gym? What machines do people gravitate towards the most in a gym? These are the questions, right? What is the best location for a gym? Right? You need to put an answer to most, if not all, of these questions before you start your goal. If you're just starting the goal As is, it's going to be overwhelming and you're never going to start on your goal. You're never going to start on your goal, right? So you have to feed your mind with enough ammo, so to speak, so you can pull the trigger. When you can say, hey, I know a thing or two about this. I might not have experience yet, but I'm not completely oblivious to what's going on, right? So that's one way to sort of push that aside. Educate yourself on your goal. Just learn about it. No pressure, right? Don't put pressure on yourself to take action. Just learn about it. That's it. Just learn about it. Eventually, you'll be like, you know what? I'm ready to do this. So don't even think about starting it without actually having information first. And I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 it works. Just learn about it. All right. Reason number 2 is for a different kind of it's a different it's for a different kind of breed of people, okay? Reason number 2 is why people don't start their goals is because they learn too much about their goal, right? And I've been guilty of this too. You have a goal, you learn about it, and you read about it, you watch movies about it, you digest, you take it all in, and you still don't want to do anything. It just spooks you even more, right? And they have a phrase for paralysis by analysis. That's what they call it. Paralysis by analysis, right? You get so much information that you just sort of freeze, right? It's like a computer, right? Like the computer has so much information or it's just on too much juice and it freezes, the computer freezes, right? That happens to people too. You feed them with enough information and they're just like, "Oh my god, this is more than I thought it was." And it usually is, right? Again, there's no insurance on this. You just have to figure it out. So, paralysis by analysis. People get too much information. So, what's the medicine? What's the cure? For me, I feel like at the forefront of all of this is people having a very creative imagination as far as why things are not going to work out. So they get a lot of information and then they start visualizing all the things that could go wrong or all the things they have to do. And this is what's going on in their head. This is all that's going on in their head, right? Visualization. And for whatever reason, the mind gravitates towards the negatives. What could go wrong? What's gonna happen if you make a mistake? The fear of being ostracized. What are people gonna think? What if I lose all my money? What if she doesn't like me? What if I lose my job? What if I'm not good enough? What if, the list goes on and on. And it's just creative imagination. None of this is real. You can take calculated risk and have realistic expectations. But a lot of the stuff that goes on here isn't real. It doesn't exist. It's just your mind working against you. So you have imagery that is unfavorable. Right? So for example, like let's say you're dating, for example, right? Or you're just starting to see somebody or you like somebody. You think about them, right? You think about them in your head and you sort of daydream about this person, for example, right? And it turns into a commercial of the future of what it could be if you're with this person, right? Or if you're trying to start a business or whatever, right? You have a commercial in your head of what it's gonna look like, right? Fighters do this in boxing too, MMA. They're training for the fight, and they're visualizing what the fight's gonna look like, right? In their head, it's like a loop. It's playing in your head, right? What I'm suggesting for you to do, what I'm inviting for you to do, is, and this requires some self-awareness from your part, right? When you think about your goal, when you think about it, every time it pops into your head, every single time that it's in your head, when you're thinking about your goal, never, no exceptions, never, ever stop thinking about your goal on a negative note. Never stop thinking about your goal on a negative note. Never end the commercial in your head, the visualization, the imagery in your head. Never end it with a negative thought or with a negative outcome. Don't do that, okay? When you think something negative over and over again, it's not going to work out. I can't do it. And you're playing this loop in your head. Eventually, this loop in your head turns into an emotion. It goes from here to here. You think about it in a negative light enough times, and it goes into your emotion. It produces an emotional charge. That emotional charge is going to say, you can't do it. Don't do it. It's going to go bad. But you're feeling that. That feeling is going to stop you from reaching your goal. That feeling was produced. It was cultivated. That feeling was generated from your negative imagery. You thought about it so many times, and every time you thought about it, it was a negative outcome. So eventually it turned into an emotion, right? Don't think about your goal ever and end it with a negative outcome, right? I do this all the time. Like I could be, you know, I could be cooking, in the kitchen or brushing my teeth, whatever I could be cooking. And, my mind wanders too. I'm thinking about a goal, something I want to do. No insurance policy. How am I going to do this, right? And I'm thinking about it. And of course, I'm aware, I have enough awareness that my mind is going to take me to a negative place. It's going to say, don't do it. You can't do it. People are going to laugh at you. Don't do it. It's not going to work out. These negative thoughts. And I'm aware that I'm having these negative commercials, negative imagery. And I could be, brushing my teeth, cooking, whatever, and brushing my teeth. And then my phone would ring. Like, for example, right? My phone would ring, or somebody calls me. Somebody's honking for me outside or whatever. And I will not pick up the phone. I will not acknowledge anybody who's talking to me. I will not go and see who's honking or wants to talk to me until I end the imagery of my goals on a positive note. So I could be like brushing my teeth. My phone is ringing. My phone's ringing, right? It's loud, and I'm brushing my teeth. But I'm not gonna pick up the phone until my mind is set straight. Until my goal that I'm thinking about ends on a positive note. Right? I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. I'll be brushing my teeth, and then once I lock it down up here, once my imagery has a positive outcome, and that commercial that we all play in our heads, once it has a positive outcome, then I'll pick up the phone. Right? Then I'll pick up the phone, or call them back, text them back, whatever, right? But that phone, I'm not picking up that phone until my imagery ends on a positive note. That's the best I can do for you, right? If you're unaware of some of the blind spots your goals entail, learn about it, right? Don't put pressure on yourself. Just learn about it, right? Don't go off and take action just yet. It'll spook you. Just learn about it. Learn about your goal. Become a walking encyclopedia about your goal. And if that doesn't give you enough confidence with conviction to actually go out and try something, then what I recommend is you be very aware and conscious of what you're thinking. Because 9 times out of 10, it's your creative imagination telling you you shouldn't do it, right? At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be, and that's life.